Subscribing is like offering your soul to the God Emperor, except this time you'll get new videos instead of eternal servitude. Hit that button unless you're a heretic. Abaddon, the Despoiler. Once a proud son of the Emperor, now the supreme overlord of the Black Legion and warmaster of chaos, Abaddon's journey from loyal space marine to the Imperium's greatest nemesis is a tale of ambition, betrayal, and relentless pursuit of power. Ezekiel Abaddon began his life as a warrior of the Lunar Wolves, one of the Emperor's elite space marine legions. Under the command of Primarch Horus Lupercal, Abaddon rose through the ranks to become first captain of the Legion and a member of the Mournival, Horus's inner circle of advisors. His martial prowess and tactical acumen were legendary, earning him respect and admiration from his battle brothers and enemies alike. However, Abaddon's fate took a dark turn when Horus fell to the corrupting influence of chaos and initiated the Horus Heresy, a galactic civil war that nearly toppled the Imperium. As Horus's most trusted lieutenant, Abaddon followed his Primarch into rebellion, leading devastating assaults against loyal Imperial forces. The heresy culminated in a final cataclysmic battle aboard Horus's flagship, where the Emperor himself confronted and defeated the traitorous warmaster. In the aftermath of Horus's defeat, Abaddon and the surviving traitor forces retreated to the Eye of Terror, a vast region of space where reality and the warp intermingle. There, amid the ruins of the once mighty traitor legions, Abaddon began his long ascent to power. He rejected the notion of becoming a puppet of the Chaos Gods, instead seeking to bend their power to his own will. Over the centuries, Abaddon united the fractured remnants of the traitor legions under his banner, forging them into the Black Legion. As the new warmaster of chaos, Abaddon launched a series of devastating campaigns against the Imperium, known as the Black Crusades. Each crusade tested the Imperium's defenses, probing for weaknesses and gathering powerful artifacts and allies. These incursions grew in scale and ferocity, culminating in the 13th Black Crusade, which saw the destruction of the fortress world of Cadia and the creation of the Great Rift, a massive warp storm that split the galaxy in two. Abaddon's rise to infamy is marked by his unwavering determination and strategic genius. Unlike many who fall to chaos, he has maintained his independence, refusing to become a pawn of any single chaos god. This autonomy, combined with his ability to unite the disparate forces of chaos, makes him an exceptionally dangerous foe. Abaddon's ultimate goal is nothing less than the total destruction of the Imperium and the claiming of the Emperor's throne for himself. The Despoiler's influence extends far beyond the military sphere. He is a master manipulator, using a vast network of cultists, traitors, and unwitting pawns to further his plans across the galaxy. His very name has become a rallying cry for heretics and a curse upon the lips of the faithful. Inquisitors and planetary governors alike live in fear of Abaddon's agents infiltrating their ranks, sowing discord and preparing the way for invasion. Abaddon's physical prowess is matched by his formidable psychic abilities and the blessings of chaos. He wields the Talon of Horus, a lightning claw of immense power that once belonged to his Primarch, and Drachnien, a demon sword capable of sundering reality itself. Clad in ancient Terminator armor and backed by the most elite warriors of the Black Legion, Abaddon is a nigh unstoppable force on the battlefield. The Imperium's response to the threat posed by Abaddon has been one of grim determination. Entire sectors have been fortified, crusades launched, and countless lives sacrificed in the effort to halt his advances. Yet despite these efforts, Abaddon's influence continues to grow. With each victory, he draws more followers to his cause, swelling the ranks of his already vast armies. As the Dark Millennium draws to a close, Abaddon stands poised to deliver a killing blow to the Imperium. His actions have set in motion events that threaten to unravel the very fabric of reality. The loyalty of entire systems hangs in the balance, and the forces of order find themselves stretched to the breaking point. In this time of unprecedented peril, the fate of humanity may well rest on the outcome of the eternal struggle between the Imperium and its greatest enemy, Abaddon, the Despoiler. Abaddon's origins trace back to the savage world of Chthoniya, a planet of sprawling subterranean hive cities and constant gang warfare. Born into this unforgiving environment, he quickly learned the value of strength and cunning. His exceptional abilities caught the attention of the Luna Wolves Legion during their recruitment drive, leading to his induction into their ranks. As a neophyte, Abaddon excelled in every aspect of his training, displaying a natural aptitude for warfare and leadership. His fierce loyalty to the Legion and his battle brothers was matched only by his dedication to the Great Crusade's ideals. Rising swiftly through the ranks, he earned a place in the elite Justaran Terminator Squad, the Legion's most formidable warriors. Abaddon's prowess in battle and strategic acumen soon brought him to the attention of Horus Lupercal, Primarch of the Luna Wolves. Recognizing the young warrior's potential, Horus took Abaddon under his wing, grooming him for greater responsibilities. This mentorship forged a bond between them that would shape the course of galactic history. Upon his elevation to first captain, Abaddon assumed command of the First Company and joined the Mournival, an advisory body of 4 captains who served as the Primarch's closest confidants. In this role, he became instrumental in shaping Legion policy and strategy, his counsel valued highly by Horus and his fellow officers. The pivotal moment in Abaddon's life came during the fateful mission to the moon of Davin. When Horus was grievously wounded by the anathema, a chaos-tainted blade, Abaddon stood vigil over his Primarch's sickbed. He watched helplessly as the warmaster's life ebbed away, defying all attempts at healing. In desperation, Abaddon supported the decision to seek aid from the mysterious lodges of Davin, unwittingly playing a part in Horus's corruption by chaos. When Horus emerged, changed but alive, Abaddon's relief blinded him to the subtle alterations in his Primarch's demeanor and goals. As Horus began to turn against the Emperor, Abaddon found himself torn between his loyalty to his Primarch and his duty to the Imperium. However, years of indoctrination and hero worship ultimately swayed him to Horus's side. Abaddon became one of the first to pledge his allegiance to the Warmaster's new cause, convinced that Horus's vision for humanity was just and necessary. Throughout the early stages of the Horus heresy, Abaddon served as Horus's right hand, leading devastating assaults against loyal Imperial forces. He played crucial roles in major engagements, including the Istvan III atrocity and the drop site massacre on Istvan Fief, where his tactical genius and combat prowess helped secure vital victories for the traitor forces. As the civil war raged across the galaxy, Abaddon's faith in Horus remained unshakable. He saw the Warmaster as the true heir to the Emperor's legacy, believing that only through Horus's leadership could humanity achieve its true potential. This conviction drove him to commit acts of unspeakable brutality against those he once called brothers. The Siege of Terra marked the culmination of Abaddon's journey during the heresy. Leading the sons of Horus in their assault on the Imperial Palace, he fought with unmatched fury, determined to see his Primarch ascend to the Golden Throne. When news of Horus's death at the hands of the Emperor reached him, Abaddon's world shattered. In the chaotic retreat that followed, Abaddon took charge of the Legion's remnants, guiding them to safety in the Eye of Terror. Overwhelmed by grief and rage, he initially struggled to come to terms with the magnitude of their defeat. However, this period of introspection would prove to be the crucible in which the future Warmaster of Chaos was forged. Within the swirling madness of the Eye, Abaddon wrestled with the implications of Horus's failure. He concluded that the Primarch's downfall stemmed from his reliance on the Chaos Gods, viewing them as a means to an end rather than recognizing them as capricious and unreliable allies. This realization would form the cornerstone of Abaddon's future strategy. As rival warlords vied for control of the fractured Legion, Abaddon bided his time, carefully consolidating his power base. He gathered loyal supporters and eliminated potential threats, all while developing a vision for the future of chaos that differed significantly from Horus's approach. Abaddon's ascension to leadership of the Sons of Horus was not without challenge. He faced opposition from those who saw him as unworthy to succeed Horus, or who harbored their own ambitions for power. Through a combination of political maneuvering, martial skill, and sheer force of will, Abaddon overcame these obstacles, emerging as the uncontested leader of the renamed Black Legion. This period of internal strife and self-discovery lasted for centuries, during which Abaddon honed his skills as both a warrior and a leader. He delved deep into forbidden lore, seeking to understand the true nature of chaos and how to harness its power without falling prey to its corrupting influence. Abaddon's transformation from the first captain of the Luna Wolves to the warmaster of chaos was a long and arduous journey, marked by triumph and tragedy in equal measure. It was this crucible of experience that forged him into the implacable enemy of the Imperium, driven by a burning desire to succeed where Horus had failed and reshape the galaxy in his own image. Abaddon's transformation into the Imperium's greatest enemy is characterized by several key features that set him apart from other Chaos warlords and make him a uniquely formidable threat. Foremost among these is his iron will and indomitable spirit. Unlike many who fall to chaos, Abaddon has maintained his independence, refusing to become a pawn of any single chaos god. This autonomy allows him to harness the powers of chaos without being consumed by them, a delicate balance few can achieve. His unwavering determination and focus on his ultimate goal, the destruction of the Imperium, have remained constant over millennia, driving him to persevere where others have faltered. Strategic genius stands as another hallmark of Abaddon's leadership. His military acumen, honed over countless campaigns, enables him to orchestrate complex galaxy-spanning plans. The Black Crusades, each meticulously planned and executed, demonstrate his ability to learn from past failures and adapt his strategies accordingly. Abaddon's foresight extends beyond mere tactical considerations. He excels at manipulating events on a grand scale, often setting plans in motion centuries before they come to fruition. The Despoiler's charisma and ability to unite disparate factions under his banner are crucial to his success. Within the Eye of Terror, where ambitious warlords constantly vie for supremacy, Abaddon has managed to forge a cohesive force from the fractured remnants of the traitor legions. His leadership of the Black Legion serves as a rallying point for all who oppose the Imperium, drawing warriors and resources from across the galaxy to his cause. Abaddon's martial prowess remains legendary, even millennia after the Horus heresy. Enhanced by the blessings of chaos and armed with powerful artifacts, he is a nigh unstoppable force on the battlefield. His personal combat skills, coupled with his tactical acumen, make him a threat capable of turning the tide of entire wars through his presence alone. The Warmaster's mastery of corruption and subversion extends his influence far beyond the front lines. Through a vast network of cultists, traitors, and unwitting pawns, Abaddon can strike at the heart of Imperial worlds long before his fleets arrive. This insidious approach undermines the Imperium's defenses from within, sowing discord and preparing the way for invasion. Abaddon's relationship with the Warp and its denizens is complex and unique. While he wields considerable psychic power and commands legions of demons, he views these forces as tools rather than masters. This pragmatic approach to chaos allows him to benefit from its power without succumbing to the madness that often accompanies it. The Talon of Horus and Drachnien, Abaddon's signature weapons, are more than mere tools of war. They serve as symbols of his authority and links to his past. The Talon connects him to his heritage as Horus's chosen son, while Drachnien represents his mastery over the forces of chaos. These artifacts enhance his already formidable combat abilities and serve as rallying points for his followers. Abaddon's longevity sets him apart from many of his foes. Having survived since the days of the Great Crusade, He possesses a wealth of experience and knowledge that few can match. This vast perspective allows him to see patterns and opportunities that others might miss, informing his long-term strategies. The Despoiler's ability to learn and adapt is perhaps his most dangerous trait. Each defeat is analyzed and used to refine his approach, making him an ever-evolving threat. This continuous improvement is evident in the escalating scale and impact of his Black Crusades, culminating in the devastating 13th Black Crusade. Abaddon's role as a dark mirror to the Emperor adds a symbolic dimension to his threat. He represents everything the Imperium fears: the potential for humanity's greatest heroes to fall and the corrupting influence of chaos. This symbolic power enhances his ability to shake the Imperium's morale and inspire heretics across the galaxy. The Warmaster's grand vision for the future sets him apart from more nihilistic chaos leaders. While he seeks to destroy the Imperium, Abaddon aims to build something in its place, a galaxy ruled by the strong, free from the Emperor's stifling regime. This goal, however twisted, provides a sense of purpose that resonates with many disillusioned with Imperial rule. Abaddon's mastery of psychological warfare amplifies the impact of his campaigns. He understands the power of fear and uses it to maximum effect, ensuring that tales of his atrocities spread far and wide. This approach paralyzes some foes with terror, while goading others into rash actions, both of which play into his hands. The network of alliances and pacts Abaddon has forged over millennia provides him with resources far beyond those of the Black Legion alone. From Dark Mechanicum, Forge Worlds, to Xenos mercenaries, he can call upon a diverse array of forces to support his campaigns, making his armies highly adaptable and unpredictable. Abaddon's intimate knowledge of Imperial tactics and weaknesses, gleaned from his time as a loyalist space marine, allows him to exploit vulnerabilities others might overlook. This insider perspective, combined with millennia of fighting against the Imperium, makes him uniquely qualified to dismantle humanity's realm. Abaddon's position in the Warhammer 40,000 universe is central to the ongoing conflict that defines the setting. As Warmaster of Chaos, he stands as the primary antagonist to the Imperium of Man, embodying the ever-present threat of corruption and destruction that looms over humanity. His actions and campaigns serve as catalysts for many of the major events that shape the galaxy's fate. The Despoiler's influence extends far beyond the Eye of Terror, his domain serving as a staging ground for incursions into real space. His Black Crusades have become defining moments in the Imperium's history, each one leaving an indelible mark on the galactic landscape. These massive campaigns force the Imperium to commit vast resources to defense, often at the expense of other pressing concerns. Abaddon's role as the heir to Horus's legacy places him at the heart of the long war between Chaos and the Imperium. He represents the enduring threat of the Horus heresy, a reminder that the wounds inflicted during that ancient conflict have never truly healed. This symbolic importance elevates him above other Chaos warlords, making him a figure of both dread and dark admiration. The Warmaster's actions have far-reaching consequences that ripple across various factions and storylines. His campaigns often intersect with the machinations of other major players in the galaxy, from the enigmatic Eldar to the rapacious Orcs. These interactions create complex webs of conflict and alliance that drive the narrative forward. Abaddon's presence in the lore provides a focal point for exploring themes of corruption, redemption, and the nature of chaos itself. His journey from loyal space marine to arch-traitor serves as a cautionary tale, illustrating the insidious nature of chaos and the potential for even the mightiest heroes to fall. This narrative thread resonates throughout the Warhammer 40,000 universe, informing the backstories of countless characters and factions. The Despoiler's role extends to the tabletop game, where he features as one of the most powerful and iconic units available to Chaos players. His in-game abilities and special rules reflect his lore, making him a formidable opponent that can turn the tide of battle. This gameplay integration further cements his importance in the Warhammer 40,000 experience. Abaddon's Black Legion serves as a dark mirror to the Imperium's Space Marines, showcasing how the Emperor's finest warriors can be twisted by chaos. This parallel provides a rich vein of narrative potential, allowing for exploration of themes such as loyalty, brotherhood, and the corrupting influence of power. The Warmaster's ongoing campaign against the Imperium drives much of the conflict in the galaxy's present state. The aftermath of the 13th Black Crusade, which saw the destruction of Cadia and the creation of the Great Rift, has reshaped the strategic landscape of the entire setting. This event marked a significant advancement of the overall narrative, pushing the story into new and uncharted territories. Abaddon's interactions with the Chaos Gods add depth to the portrayal of chaos in the universe. His ability to maintain independence while wielding their power illustrates the complex and often contradictory nature of chaos itself. This dynamic provides insight into the motivations and methods of other chaos-aligned characters and factions. The Despoiler's millennia-spanning plans showcase the vast timescales at play in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. His ability to orchestrate events across centuries highlights the slow, inexorable grind of galactic conflict, contrasting sharply with the more immediate concerns of many other factions. Abaddon's role as a foil to the Emperor and his sons allows for exploration of the Imperium's own failings and contradictions. The Warmaster's critiques of Imperial rule, however twisted, often contain kernels of truth that force readers to question the nature of the Imperium itself. The ongoing hunt for Abaddon serves as a driving force for many Imperial narratives. Inquisitors, Space Marine chapters, and entire Imperial crusades have been launched with the goal of bringing the Despoiler to justice, each attempt adding new layers to the lore and expanding the universe's scope. Abaddon's influence on Chaos Space Marine warbands and renegade factions provides a unifying thread for the forces of chaos. His ability to rally diverse groups under his banner illustrates the complex politics and power dynamics at play within the forces opposed to the Imperium. The Warmaster's possession of powerful artifacts like the Talon of Horus and Drachnien ties him to the rich history of the setting. These items serve as physical links to past events, their presence in the current narrative bridging the gap between the Horus heresy era and the present day. Abaddon's interactions with other elements of the Warhammer 40,000 universe are complex and far-reaching, shaping the galaxy's political and military landscape. His influence extends beyond the forces of chaos, affecting various factions and driving numerous storylines. The Imperium of Man remains Abaddon's primary antagonist and the focus of his destructive ambitions. His Black Crusades force the Imperium to maintain a constant state of vigilance along the borders of the Eye of Terror. The Despoiler's actions have led to the formation of specialized defense forces such as the Cadian Shock Troops, renowned for their expertise in combating chaos incursions. Within the Adeptus Astartes, Abaddon's legacy as a fallen First Captain serves as a grim reminder of the potential for corruption. Chapters with ties to the Luna Wolves, such as the Sons of Horus successors, bear an especially heavy burden. Some, like the Sons of the Phoenix, strive to redeem their lineage, while others embrace their heritage and fall to chaos. The Inquisition dedicates significant resources to monitoring and countering Abaddon's influence. Ordo Malleus, tasked with combating demonic threats, often finds itself at the forefront of efforts to thwart the Despoiler's plans. Inquisitors specializing in Abaddon's tactics and methodology are highly valued, their expertise crucial in predicting and preventing his moves. Among the Adeptus Mechanicus, Abaddon's alliance with the Dark Mechanicum presents a constant threat. His ability to offer forbidden knowledge and technological marvels tempts tech priests, leading to occasional defections that bolster his forces with valuable expertise and resources. The Ecclesiarchy views Abaddon as the ultimate heretic, using his image to reinforce the dangers of straying from the Emperor's light. Fiery preachers invoke his name in sermons, galvanizing the faithful against the threats of chaos. Conversely, hidden cults dedicated to Abaddon spread through the Imperium's underbelly, drawn by promises of power and freedom from Imperial oppression. Abaddon's relationship with the Chaos Gods is unique and precarious. He refuses subservience to any single deity, instead manipulating their rivalries to maintain his independence. This delicate balancing act influences how other Chaos warlords approach their divine patrons, with some seeking to emulate Abaddon's autonomy. The Despoiler's interactions with demonic entities are similarly complex. While he commands vast legions of warp spawn, Abaddon views them as tools rather than allies. His mastery over demons, including binding them to his will, showcases his dominance over the warp's denizens. Among the traitor legions, Abaddon's Black Legion serves as a unifying force, albeit an uneasy one. Former rivals from the Horus Heresy era find themselves fighting under the Warmaster's banner, their ancient grudges temporarily set aside in pursuit of common goals. This alliance of convenience highlights Abaddon's political acumen and ability to manage disparate factions. The Night Lords, expert terrorists and saboteurs, often act as vanguards for Abaddon's invasions. Their gruesome tactics sow fear and confusion, paving the way for the Black Legion's primary assault. This cooperation, however, is fraught with tension, as the Night Lords chafe under centralized authority. Word-bearers view Abaddon with a mixture of respect and suspicion. While they admire his devotion to the Long War, many question his reluctance to fully embrace the Chaos Gods. This theological disagreement sometimes leads to conflicts within Abaddon's coalitions. The Alpha Legion's relationship with Abaddon is characteristically enigmatic. Their operatives infiltrate his organizations, though their true motives remain unclear. Some may seek to undermine the Despoiler, while others gather intelligence or offer covert support. Thousand Sun sorcerers occasionally lend their psychic might to Abaddon's campaigns, drawn by opportunities to access forbidden knowledge or ancient artifacts. However, their allegiance to Tzeentch often puts them at odds with the Warmaster's independent stance. Death Guard Plague Marines serve as shock troops in many of Abaddon's invasions, their resilience and contagions wreaking havoc on Imperial defenses. Nurgle's followers see the Despoiler's wars as perfect venues to spread their patrons' gifts. Emperor's Children Noise Marines bring sonic devastation to Abaddon's battlefields, their sensory overloading weapons complementing the Black Legion's more conventional tactics. However, their hedonistic pursuits can clash with the Warmaster's disciplined approach. World Eater's Berserkers provide unmatched close combat prowess to Abaddon's forces, often spearheading assaults on heavily fortified positions. Managing their bloodlust presents a constant challenge, requiring careful deployment to maximize their effectiveness while minimizing friendly fire incidents. Beyond the forces of chaos, Abaddon's actions impact various Xenos races. Craftworld Eldar view him as a significant threat, their Farseers working to manipulate events to minimize the damage caused by his Black Crusades. Occasionally, this leads to unlikely alliances between Eldar and Imperial forces against a common foe. Dark Eldar raiders sometimes take advantage of the chaos sown by Abaddon's campaigns, launching their own raids in the wake of his invasions. Some cabals have formed loose pacts with the Despoiler, exchanging services for opportunities to capture slaves. Orcs see Abaddon's wars as opportunities for good fights with Was, often coinciding with Black Crusades. While not allies, the Orcs' presence can further complicate Imperial defense efforts, inadvertently aiding the Warmaster's plans. Necron dynasties awakening near conflict zones triggered by Abaddon's actions find themselves drawn into larger galactic struggles. Some Necron lords view the Despoiler as a significant disruption to their plans for galactic dominion, while others see opportunities in the upheaval he creates. The Black Legion, under Abaddon's leadership, maintains a complex internal structure that reflects its diverse origins and the Warmaster's strategic vision. At the apex stands Abaddon himself, his will absolute and unquestioned. Directly beneath him, is the Ezekarian, an inner circle of chosen champions and advisors. This elite group, handpicked by the Despoiler, includes powerful sorcerers, skilled tacticians, and peerless warriors. Each member of the Ezekarian commands significant forces within the Legion and often leads separate war efforts across the galaxy. Beneath the Ezekarian are the various war bands that comprise the bulk of the Black Legion. These groups vary greatly in size and composition, ranging from small elite squadrons to vast armies capable of conquering entire systems. Warband leaders pledge fealty to Abaddon, but retain significant autonomy in their operations. This structure allows the Legion to wage war on multiple fronts simultaneously while maintaining overall cohesion. The Bringers of Despair serve as Abaddon's personal guard and enforcers. Clad in ancient Terminator armor and wielding devastating weaponry, these warriors are feared even among their fellow Chaos Space Marines. Their presence on the battlefield often heralds the Warmaster's own arrival, striking terror into the hearts of their enemies. Sorcerer cabals form a crucial component of the Legion's hierarchy. These psychic adepts divine future events, communicate across vast distances, and unleash devastating warp-based attacks. The most powerful among them sit on the Ezekarion, their arcane knowledge proving invaluable in Abaddon's long-term planning. The dark mechanicum elements within the Black Legion operate with a degree of independence, maintaining their own chain of command. These corrupted tech priests and their attendant servitors are responsible for maintaining the Legion's war machines and crafting demonic weaponry. Their workshops, often entire corrupted forge worlds, churn out a steady stream of twisted armaments. Cultist armies form the expendable masses of the Black Legion. These mortal followers, drawn from countless worlds, are organized into regiments led by charismatic demagogues or lesser Chaos Space Marines. While individually weak compared to their transhuman masters, their numbers make them invaluable for overwhelming enemy positions and conducting widespread insurgencies. Demon engines and possessed war machines occupy a unique place in the Legion's structure. These entities, part machine and part warp spawn, require specialized handlers and tech priests to maintain and direct. Entire formations are dedicated to deploying and supporting these terrifying weapons, their controllers holding positions of respect within the Legion's ranks. The Legion's fleet operates under a separate command structure, though ultimately answerable to Abaddon. Warship captains form a loose admiralty, coordinating their efforts to transport troops, bombard planets, and engage enemy fleets. The most successful among them may be elevated to the Ezekarian, recognizing the crucial role void warfare plays in the Legion's strategies. Intelligence gathering and covert operations fall under the purview of specialized units within the Black Legion. These groups, often comprised of former Alpha Legion operatives or particularly cunning Black Legionnaires, maintain networks of spies and informants across Imperial space. Their efforts provide Abaddon with vital information for planning his campaigns. Recruitment and indoctrination of new Chaos Space Marines are handled by dedicated sections of the Legion. These groups oversee the capture and corruption of loyalist Space Marines, the creation of new Astartes through forbidden techniques, and the integration of renegade warbands into the Black Legion's ranks. Diplomatic Corps, while an unusual concept for a Chaos force, exist within the Black Legion. These envoys negotiate with other Chaos warbands, Xenos races, and even occasional renegade Imperial factions. Their work is crucial in building the coalitions necessary for Abaddon's larger campaigns. Specialized assault formations, such as Raptor cults and Havoc squads, maintain their own internal hierarchies while fitting into the larger Legion structure. These groups often compete for glory and the Warmaster's favor, their rivalries carefully managed to drive them to greater feats on the battlefield. Demonic allies, while not formally part of the Legion's hierarchy, play a significant role in its operations. Summoners and binders hold positions of power, their ability to call forth and control warp entities making them valuable assets. Greater demons, when successfully bound to Abaddon's will, serve as powerful field commanders. The fallen former Dark Angels lured to chaos occupy a unique position within the Black Legion. Their knowledge of Loyalist chapter secrets and tactics makes them valuable assets, often serving as advisors or leading specialized strike forces against their former brothers. At the lowest rungs of the hierarchy are the countless slaves, mutants, and lesser cultists that perform menial tasks and serve as cannon fodder. These masses are managed by cruel overseers, their lives expended without hesitation to further the Legion's goals. This complex hierarchy allows the Black Legion to operate on a massive scale while retaining the flexibility to adapt to changing circumstances. Abaddon's skill in managing these diverse elements, balancing their competing interests and ambitions, is a testament to his leadership abilities and a key factor in the Legion's continued threat to the Imperium. The Black Legion's technological and magical arsenal is a terrifying blend of corrupted Imperial tech, warp-infused weaponry, and demonic artifacts. At the forefront of their armory are the legendary Chaos-touched power armors, each suit a unique masterpiece of corruption. These armors fuse with their wearers, enhancing strength and resilience, while often bestowing mutations or demonic gifts. Demon engines represent the pinnacle of the Legion's techno-sorceress achievements. These monstrous war machines, such as the Soul Grinder and Defiler, meld the spirits of powerful demons with artillery platforms or battle tanks. The result is a living weapon of unparalleled ferocity, capable of regenerating damage and unleashing warp-fueled destruction. The Helldrake, a fusion of demon, machine, and fallen Astartes, soars through battle on metallic wings. These aerial terrors strafe enemy positions with warp flame, their pilot's consciousness melded permanently with their mounts. Each Helldrake is a unique abomination, its form reflecting the tormented psyche of its pilot. Obliterators, once tech marines consumed by a warp-born techno-virus, exemplify the Legion's mastery over flesh and machine. These living weapons factories can manifest any firearm directly from their biomechanical bodies, adapting their armaments to suit any battlefield situation. The Dark Mechanicum supplies the Black Legion with twisted versions of Imperial vehicles. Land Raiders become mobile altars to the ruinous powers, their hulls adorned with blasphemous sigils. Predator tanks, their machine spirits driven mad by exposure to the warp, hunt with savage instinct. Forbidden technologies, some dating back to the Dark Age of technology, find new purpose in Abaddon's armies. Phosphex weapons, banned by the Imperium for their horrific effects, see frequent use. Vortex weaponry, capable of tearing holes in reality itself, turns battlefields into nightmarish hellscapes. Warp-infused melee weapons form a crucial part of the Legion's close combat arsenal. Power swords, crackling with unholy energies, cleave through armor and flesh with equal ease. Chain weapons, their teeth anointed in demonic ichor, inflict wounds that fester and corrupt. The Legion sorcerers wield staves and tomes of immense power, channeling the raw energies of the warp into devastating spells. These psychers can call down storms of blood, transmute enemy soldiers into gibbering spawn, or tear open portals to the realm of chaos itself. Sonic weapons, perfected by Emperor's children allies, find frequent use in Black Legion assaults. These devices weaponize sound itself, liquefying organs and shattering minds with discordant frequencies. Noise Marines, their bodies surgically altered to interface with these weapons, unleash waves of sonic destruction. Biological warfare forms another facet of the Legion's technological repertoire. Virus bombs loaded with tailored pathogens can depopulate entire worlds in hours. More insidious agents work slowly, corrupting gene lines over generations to produce armies of mutants loyal to chaos. Scrap code, a techno-viral language that infects and corrupts machine spirits, allows the Black Legion to turn enemy war machines against their former masters. This digital plague spreads through cogitator networks, potentially crippling entire planetary defense systems. Warp-touched ammunition enhances the Legion's ranged capabilities. Bolter rounds are inscribed with cursed runes, causing wounds that resist healing and spread corruption. Plasma weapons, their containment fields breached by demonic entities, fire globules of semi-sentient energy that hunt their targets with malevolent intent. Teleportation technology, powered by sorceress rituals, allows for precise insertion of elite troops behind enemy lines. These devices, far more reliable than their Imperial counterparts, can breach all but the strongest void shields. Psychic beacons, crafted from the skulls of powerful psychers, serve as navigation aids in the swirling tides of the warp. These grisly devices allow the Black Legion's fleets to plot courses through reality-defying storms, emerging with terrifying accuracy near their targets. Demonic possession extends beyond vehicles to individual weapons. Swords housing bound demons whisper strategies to their wielders, while pistols unleash spirits with each pull of the trigger. These sentient armaments form symbiotic relationships with their users, growing in power as they claim more lives. Scrying orbs and prophetic engines, powered by enslaved seers, provide strategic intelligence to Legion commanders. These devices peer through the veils of time and space, offering glimpses of possible futures and enemy movements. The Forge of Souls, a mythical foundry said to exist in the depths of the warp, produces artifacts of incomprehensible power for Abaddon's forces. Weapons and armor forged here resonate with the essence of chaos itself, their very existence an affront to natural law. Warp drives modified by Dark Mechanicum adepts allow Black Legion vessels to dive deeper into the Imperium than standard Imperial ships. This technology enables faster travel between real space locations and access to regions of the galaxy normally considered unreachable. The Black Legion's culture is a dark reflection of its origins, blending remnants of Chthonian gang traditions with 10 millennia of chaos influence. At its core lies an ethos of strength through unity, a perverse echo of the imperial truth they once upheld. This philosophy, championed by Abaddon, emphasizes the power gained by setting aside Legion rivalries to focus on their shared goal, the downfall of the Imperium. While rituals and ceremonies play a crucial role in Legion life, blood oaths sworn to Abaddon bind warriors to his cause, their words etched into flesh with cursed blades. These pacts, more than mere tradition, carry real power in the warp, ensuring loyalty beyond death itself. Ascension rites mark a warrior's rise through the ranks, each promotion accompanied by gruesome trials that test both martial skill and devotion to chaos. The Legion's warrior culture places great emphasis on personal glory and the accumulation of trophies. Armor is adorned with grisly relics, skulls of fallen enemies, flayed skin of worthy opponents, or fragments of conquered worlds. These trophies serve as both status symbols and focuses for dark rituals, their power growing with each victory. Dueling holds a prominent place in settling disputes and establishing hierarchy. These contests range from ritualized combat in sacred arenas to sudden, lethal challenges on the battlefield. The outcomes of these duels are respected, with the victors claiming the right to lead and the spoils of war. A complex system of debts and favors underpins much of the Legion's internal politics. Warriors pledge service or valuable artifacts in exchange for support, creating a web of obligations that spans centuries. Abaddon masterfully manipulates this system, ensuring that key figures remain indebted to him personally. The worship of chaos takes myriad forms within the Black Legion. While some dedicate themselves to a single god, many embrace chaos undivided, viewing the ruinous powers as a pantheon to be revered in totality. Abaddon encourages this approach, seeing it as a means to harness the full spectrum of chaos energies without becoming beholden to any single entity. Sorceress practices permeate every aspect of Legion life. Diviners read the future in the entrails of sacrificial victims, while biomancers sculpt flesh into new, horrific forms. The pursuit of forbidden knowledge is highly valued, with entire wars fought over arcane tomes or ancient artifacts. A twisted form of brotherhood persists among the Legionnaires, a dark echo of their former Astartes bonds. Warriors who fight together for centuries develop unbreakable ties, their shared experiences of battle and the warp forging connections that transcend mortal understanding. These brotherhoods often form the core of individual war bands, their loyalty to each other second only to their devotion to Abaddon. The concept of time holds little meaning for many in the Legion, particularly those who dwell primarily in the Eye of Terror. Centuries may pass in the material universe, while only moments elapse for a warband lost in the warp. This temporal dislocation contributes to the Legion's otherworldly nature and strategic unpredictability. A technological innovation is valued, but always with a chaos twist. The dark mechanicum elements within the Legion constantly experiment, fusing warp energies with machine spirits to create ever more terrifying weapons. This drive for advancement is tempered by a reverence for ancient relics, particularly those dating back to the Horus Heresy. The Legion's approach to gene seed and recruitment reflects their pragmatic brutality. Aspirants are drawn from conquered worlds, subjecting them to hellish trials that kill or corrupt all but the strongest. Those who survive are implanted with gene seed of varied origins, often multiple types within a single aspirant, creating warriors of unpredictable mutation and power. A culture of constant warfare permeates the Legion, with peace viewed as stagnation. Even during lulls between major campaigns, warbands engage in raids, duels, and internal power struggles. This perpetual conflict hones their skills and weeds out the weak, ensuring only the most ruthless and capable rise to positions of authority. The Black Legion's vocal tradition is rich with dark hymns and battle cant. These chants, often in corrupted forms of High Gothic or Chthonian dialects, are used to invoke the power of the warp and terrify enemies. Master chanters lead these choruses, their voices supernaturally amplified to shake the very ground beneath their feet. Prophecy and portents hold significant sway over Legion's strategy. Sorcerers and seers are consulted before major engagements, their visions helping to guide Abaddon's grand plans. Warriors look for omens in the twisting energies of the warp, believing that fate can be read in the patterns of spilled blood or the screams of the dying. The concept of martyrdom is twisted within Legion culture. Those who fall in glorious battle are not mourned but celebrated, their names added to profane litanies. The most worthy may be reborn as demon princes, while others are incorporated into demon engines, ensuring their service continues beyond death. Abaddon's path to becoming the Imperium's greatest enemy is fraught with constant challenges and conflicts. Foremost among these is the ever-present threat of internal dissension within the Black Legion. Despite his iron grip on power, Abaddon must continuously assert his dominance over ambitious warlords and rival champions who seek to usurp his position. This necessitates a delicate balance of rewarding loyalty while swiftly crushing any hint of rebellion. The fickle nature of chaos itself presents another ongoing struggle. Abaddon's refusal to fully commit to any single chaos, God leaves him vulnerable to their capricious whims. He must carefully navigate the competing demands of these entities, ensuring that his forces receive their blessings without becoming enslaved to their will. This balancing act requires immense willpower and strategic acumen. Maintaining cohesion among the diverse factions within the Black Legion poses a significant challenge. Abaddon must manage the conflicting ideologies and goals of various warbands, cult formations, and allied forces. Keeping these disparate elements focused on the larger objective of toppling the Imperium requires constant negotiation and, at times, ruthless enforcement of his will. The vast distances and turbulent nature of the warp create logistical nightmares for Abaddon's campaigns. Coordinating forces across the galaxy, particularly when warp storms can isolate entire fleets or armies, demands incredible foresight and adaptability. The despoiler must often revise his strategies on the fly, accounting for units that arrive years late or in entirely unexpected locations. resupply and recruitment present ongoing issues for the Black Legion. Unlike the Imperium with its vast resources, Abaddon must rely on raiding, conquest, and dark pacts to maintain his forces. Ensuring a steady influx of materiel, recruits, and slaves to fuel his war machine requires constant attention and resources. The Imperium's resilience poses perhaps the greatest external challenge to Abaddon's ambitions. Despite millennia of assaults, humanity's realm endures, its defenses adapting to each new threat. The Despoiler must constantly innovate his tactics and strategies to overcome Imperial countermeasures, engaging in a deadly game of escalation. Rival Chaos warlords and competing factions within the Eye of Terror represent a persistent threat to Abaddon's supremacy. He must not only contend with Imperial forces, but also defend his position against other aspiring champions of chaos who see his downfall as a path to their own ascension. The unpredictable nature of warp-based technology and sorcery introduces an element of chaos into even the most carefully laid plans. Abaddon must account for the possibility of rituals backfiring, demon engines running amok, or warp rifts opening at inopportune moments. This volatility demands contingencies upon contingencies. Maintaining the loyalty of key allies, particularly among the other traitor legions, requires constant politicking and favor trading. Abaddon must ensure that the likes of the Death Guard, World Eaters, and Thousand Sons see more benefit in following his banner than pursuing their own agendas. This often involves promising valuable relics, choice worlds to conquer, or other incentives that strain the Black Legion's resources. The corrupting influence of chaos presents a double-edged sword for Abaddon. While it grants his forces immense power, it also threatens to transform them into mindless spawn or drag them into the warp entirely. Managing this corruption, ensuring his warriors remain effective without losing themselves entirely to madness, requires constant vigilance. Imperial assassins and saboteurs pose a persistent threat to Abaddon personally and to his command structure. The Despoiler must maintain an extensive network of bodyguards, seers, and counterintelligence operatives to thwart attempts on his life and disrupt his plans. This paranoia, while necessary, consumes significant resources and attention. The need for secrecy in his grand strategies conflicts with the egotistical nature of many Chaos champions. Abaddon must carefully control the flow of information within his own ranks, ensuring that individual warbands understand enough of the plan to operate effectively without grasping the full scope of his designs. This compartmentalization risks creating confusion and missed opportunities on the battlefield. Technological advancements within the Imperium, particularly in the realm of anti-chaos weaponry and defenses, force Abaddon to continuously adapt his arsenal and tactics. The arms race between Imperial tech priests and the dark mechanicum elements within his forces demands constant innovation and the dangerous testing of new, often unstable technologies. The vast time frames involved in Abaddon's planning introduce their own complications. Strategies set in motion centuries ago may become obsolete due to unforeseen developments requiring rapid adaptation. Conversely, the long-lived nature of many of his foes, particularly among the Adeptus Astartes, means facing enemies who have centuries of experience fighting against his forces. Abaddon the Despoiler stands as the most infamous exemplar of the Black Legion, but numerous other notable figures have emerged from its ranks over the millennia. Iskandar Khayan, also known as the Kingbreaker, served as one of Abaddon's closest advisors during the Legion Wars. A powerful sorcerer and former Thousand Son, Khayan played a crucial role in unifying the disparate warbands under Abaddon's banner. His mastery of the warp and skill in binding demons proved invaluable in the early Black Crusades. Falcus Kybre, once captain of the Justaran Terminator Elite, became one of Abaddon's most trusted lieutenants. Known as the Widowmaker, Kybre's tactical acumen and unwavering loyalty made him a cornerstone of the Legion's command structure. His expertise in void warfare and planetary assaults has been instrumental in countless campaigns. Zagthean, the Broken, a hulking chaos lord of terrifying strength, earned his moniker after surviving a direct hit from a Titan's weapon. His body, shattered and remade by the powers of chaos, became a testament to the Legion's resilience. Zakthian leads from the front, his mutated form inspiring both awe and terror in friend and foe alike. The Aphotic Blade, a mysterious assassin whose true name is lost to history, serves as Abaddon's shadow. This silent killer moves unseen through both the material realm and the warp, eliminating threats to the Despoiler's rule before they can fully materialize. The Blade's victims are found with their souls literally excised, leaving behind empty husks as grim warnings. Igethmor the Deceiver, a master of illusions and manipulation, acts as Abaddon's chief sorcerer in many campaigns. His ability to cloud the minds of entire populations and conjure massive illusions has led to the downfall of numerous worlds. Igethmor's true loyalties remain a subject of debate even within the Legion, adding to his mystique. Devram Korda, known as the Tyrant of Sorora, brings his expertise in planetary subjugation to the Black Legion. His methods of breaking a world's will through a combination of psychological warfare and precisely applied violence have been adopted widely within the Legion. Korda's trophy rack includes the crowns of 100 conquered planetary governors. The Corpse Master, a dark apostle whose birth name has been purged from all records, specializes in the creation of undead legions. His necromantic powers can raise entire battlefields of fallen warriors, turning the Imperium's dead against their former comrades. The Corpse Master's experiments in fusing demon spirits with reanimated flesh have produced abominations that haunt the nightmares of Imperial commanders. Skyrack Slaughterborn, a champion of Khorne within the Black Legion, leads the Hounds of Abaddon into battle. His fury on the battlefield is matched only by his skill in training and unleashing flesh hounds and warp-twisted war beasts. Skyrack's presence in a campaign heralds a tide of blood and savagery that overwhelms even the most stalwart defenses. Zerafaston, the Pact-Bound, stands as a living example of the dangers and rewards of treating with demons. His body serves as a host for multiple bound entities, each lending him different powers in battle. Zerafaston's mastery over these internal passengers makes him an invaluable asset in dealing with demonic allies and a terror to those who face him in combat. The Warp-Meld Priests, a cabal of biomancers led by the enigmatic Chirurgeon Incarnate, push the boundaries of flesh crafting within the Legion. Their twisted experiments result in new forms of chaos spawn, living weapons, and mutations that blur the line between machine and demon. The Chirurgeon's personal guard consists of perfectly symmetrical abominations, each a unique masterpiece of corrupted gene craft. Harkin World Claimer, the Herald of the Apocalypse, serves as Abaddon's vanguard and prophet. Armed with the demon spear Silence, Harkin's arrival on a world signals the coming of the Black Legion in force. His ability to instill dread and hopelessness in entire populations through his proclamations of doom makes him a psychological weapon without peer. The Void Stalker, captain of the dreadship Obsidian, is renowned for his mastery of void combat and planetary bombardment. His vessel, a twisted abomination of technology and warp energy, can outmaneuver Imperial ships with ease. The Void Stalker's strategies for breaking orbital defenses have become standard doctrine within the Black Legion fleet. Vorash Soulflayer, a former Night Lord, brings his Legion's expertise in terror tactics to Abaddon's forces. His campaigns are marked by meticulous psychological warfare, turning civilian populations against their defenders through fear and manipulation. Vorash's trophy rack of flayed skins includes those of planetary governors, chapter masters, and even fellow Chaos Lords who crossed him. The Alchemancer, a dark mechanicum adept of prodigious skill, oversees much of the Legion's weapon development. His creations fuse archaeotech with demonic essences, producing arms and armor that defy the laws of physics. The Alchemancer's workshop is said to be a pocket dimension where the boundaries between reality and the warp are paper thin, allowing for impossible feats of engineering. Abaddon's influence on the Warhammer 40,000 narrative and gameplay is profound and far-reaching. His Black Crusades serve as pivotal events that drive the overarching storyline forward, creating ripple effects felt across multiple factions and game systems. Each crusade introduces new threats, shifts the balance of power, and opens up fresh narrative possibilities for players and storytellers alike. In the tabletop game, Abaddon's presence as a playable character offers Chaos players a centerpiece around which to build their armies. His powerful stat line and unique abilities make him a formidable opponent on the battlefield, capable of turning the tide of even the most desperate situations. Abaddon's rules often reflect his status as the ultimate Chaos champion, with abilities that boost nearby troops and strike fear into enemy forces. The Black Legion's aesthetic, heavily influenced by Abaddon's vision, has become iconic within the Warhammer 40,000 universe. Their black and gold color scheme, adorned with Chaos iconography, provides a distinctive look that has inspired countless player armies and modeling projects. This visual impact extends to official artwork, novels, and other media, where Abaddon's imposing figure often takes center stage. Narratively, Abaddon's actions create opportunities for rich storytelling across various platforms. Black Library novels delve into his campaigns, exploring the motivations and inner workings of the Despoiler and his followers. These stories often intersect with other major characters and factions, weaving a complex web of alliances, betrayals, and epic confrontations that enrich the overall lore. In campaign settings, whether for the tabletop game or role-playing systems like Dark Heresy or Wrath and Glory, Abaddon's influence provides a backdrop of constant threat. Players might find themselves racing to thwart one of his schemes, dealing with the aftermath of a Black Crusade, or even facing the Despoiler's forces directly. This persistent menace adds tension and urgency to narratives, driving home the grimdark atmosphere of the setting. The evolution of Abaddon's character over real-world decades has mirrored the development of the Warhammer 40,000 universe itself. From his origins as a somewhat one-dimensional villain, he has grown into a complex figure whose actions and motivations are subject to intense debate among fans. This depth has allowed for more nuanced storytelling and gameplay experiences, reflecting the morally ambiguous nature of the setting. Abaddon's unique position as a non-demon chaos leader has significant implications for army building and gameplay strategies. His ability to unite various chaos factions allows players to create diverse and thematic forces, combining elements from different chaos armies into cohesive wholes. This flexibility encourages creativity in both list building and narrative creation. The ongoing narrative of Abaddon's Black Crusades provides a framework for organized play events and global campaigns. Games Workshop has used these events to engage the community, with player actions and results influencing the direction of the storyline. This interactive element blurs the line between game and narrative, allowing players to feel that their battles have a real impact on the Warhammer 40,000 universe. In video games set in the Warhammer 40,000 universe, Abaddon and the Black Legion often feature as primary antagonists or looming threats. Their presence adds gravitas to game narratives, instantly communicating the high stakes to players familiar with the lore. Boss battles against Abaddon or his lieutenants serve as climactic moments in many games, challenging players to overcome one of the setting's most iconic villains. The introduction of new models and rules for Abaddon and his forces often coincides with major updates to the Chaos Space Marines faction as a whole. These releases generate excitement within the community, spurring discussions, theory crafting, and often a surge in Black Legion-themed armies. This cyclical refresh helps maintain interest in Chaos forces and ensures their continued relevance in the evolving game. Abaddon's influence extends to the narrative treatment of other Chaos warbands and characters. Many stories explore how various factions react to his calls for unity or resist his authority, adding depth to the internal politics of Chaos. This dynamic creates opportunities for players to explore different aspects of Chaos beyond just the Black Legion, while still tying into the larger narrative. The Despoiler's millennia-spanning plans allow for storytelling across various time periods within the Warhammer 40,000 timeline. Narrative campaigns can explore the long-term consequences of his actions, from the immediate aftermath of a Black Crusade to subtle schemes coming to fruition centuries later. This temporal flexibility adds depth to the setting and allows for diverse gameplay experiences. Abaddon's future in the Warhammer 40,000 universe holds myriad possibilities, each fraught with potential for epic narratives and game-changing events. The aftermath of the Great Rift's creation presents unprecedented opportunities for the Despoiler to expand his influence. With the Imperium split in two, Abaddon may focus on consolidating power in the Imperium Nihilis, establishing a dark mirror to the Emperor's realm. The hunt for the fallen angels could intensify, with Abaddon leveraging his knowledge of the Dark Angel's secret shame to sow discord within loyalist ranks. This pursuit might lead to confrontations with the Unforgiven, potentially culminating in a climactic battle on a symbolic world like Caliban's shattered remains. Technological advancements within the Black Legion could see the development of new warp-based weaponry, capable of rivaling or even surpassing Imperial innovations. The arms race between Abaddon's forces and the Adeptus Mechanicus might escalate, introducing terrifying new units and abilities to the tabletop game. Abaddon's relationship with the Chaos Gods may evolve, potentially leading to a bid for apotheosis or a dramatic rejection of their influence. This development could reshape the very nature of chaos in the setting, offering new narrative directions and army-building options for players. The return of Loyalist Primarchs opens the door for epic confrontations between Abaddon and these legendary figures. Battles against the likes of Roboute Guilliman or Lion L. Johnson would test the Despoiler's mettle and potentially alter the balance of power in the galaxy. Exploration of Abaddon's past could reveal hidden motivations or secret plans set in motion during the Horus Heresy. These revelations might recontextualize his actions, adding layers of complexity to his character and inspiring new narrative campaigns. The emergence of new threats, such as the awakening Necron dynasties or Tyranid hive fleets, may force Abaddon into uneasy alliances with Imperial forces. These temporary pacts could lead to intriguing gameplay scenarios where traditional enemies must cooperate against a common foe. Abaddon's mastery of warp travel could see him launching simultaneous attacks across vast distances, stretching Imperial defenses to their breaking point. This strategy might introduce new campaign mechanics, challenging players to manage resources across multiple fronts. The corruption of a Loyalist Primarch, perhaps through Abaddon's machinations, would send shockwaves through the Imperium. Such an event could spark civil wars within Space Marine chapters and provide Chaos players with exciting new units and characters. Delving deeper into the nature of Drachnien, Abaddon's demon sword might reveal its true potential and the price of wielding such power. This exploration could tie into larger narratives about the origins of chaos and the nature of reality in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. Abaddon's quest for ancient technologies or artifacts could lead to the rediscovery of weapons from the Dark Age of technology. These finds might introduce radical new gameplay elements, altering traditional strategies and force compositions. The possibility of Abaddon achieving victory, even temporarily, over a significant portion of the Imperium could shift the narrative focus. Stories might explore life under Black Legion rule, resistance movements, and the struggles of both conquerors and conquered. Expansion of the Black Legion's internal culture and structure could provide rich material for role-playing games and narrative campaigns. Exploring the lives of those serving under Abaddon, from mortal cultists to aspiring champions, would add depth to the faction. Abaddon's influence might extend beyond the material realm, with campaigns in the warp itself becoming a focal point. This shift could introduce new psychic powers, demonic units, and battlefields that defy physical laws. The development of Abaddon's character might see him grappling with the long-term consequences of his actions. Exploring his psychology after 10,000 years of war could add nuanced layers to his motivations and decision-making processes. Interactions between Abaddon and Xenos races like the Aldari or Necrons could expand the scope of his influence. Alliances of convenience or complex schemes involving multiple species would enrich the galactic political landscape.